So today I can make some more progress on my transmission because I got gaskets to do, I got some seals that came, and a filter. Also some other goodies. So here's everything I picked up so far. So for everything for the trans, I got seals, both pan gaskets, and an actual Ford transmission filter. Check that out. I also wanted to refresh some of the stuff that's on the car, you know, like the end links that were broken, and like the fuel filter, just some maintenance stuff. And it's actually kind of a funny deal because this fuel filter, these air filters, I mean, look at the box. This is old stock stuff right here. This filter cost me, I'm pretty sure this one was 60 cents, and this cabin filter was like 30 cents. I got some engine mounts too. I still have one more I'm waiting for. Some Ford Motorcraft spark plugs to put in the engine here because this, I don't know when the last time it was taken apart, to be honest with you. Now I still have to figure out the engine oil leaks on this. I am at a loss to find any gaskets still. I keep looking, it's been weeks, and I'm kind of running out of luck on the deal. Right or wrong, what I think I might do is use Gasket Maker, which I am going against the grain on this because I've always ridiculed anybody that smothers silicone or RTV on a silicone gasket already, and I might be doing that today. But in other news, we got to tidy up this transmission. I did get the plug in here. Somebody did say that this thing shouldn't read. Vice versa, I could see that happening, but on this, it's the same unit from the Duratex. You are right on the comment about it not working vice versa. So SHO to the other model, I don't think it's going to work because it uses the ABS to read the speed signal. Where on the other ones read from here, and the SHO, I shouldn't have a problem. So with that being said, I have axle seals. I have a torque converter seal here, and this seal as well. I got both pan gaskets because somebody's rebuilt this one before, so I gotta just tear this apart because I hate these cork gaskets, and that's why I get the reusable ones because they just don't leak and you don't have problems. This was the old unit, as you can see. It's just nasty, filthy, dirty. You can kind of see that from the last video when I got this thing out. And I am going to keep this thing around and probably see if I can find a rebuilder that will touch it. I did reach out to rebuilders before, and nobody really wanted to touch the thing without seeing the car, to be fair. Some people just said it was pretty tough to find parts of the thing, and I could arguably say that is probably true. So I did try to clean up my mess here, and also we have this all exposed. I still want to get up in here and clean this. I did have the subframe and all this stuff cleaned up, as you can see. So this is nice and painted. I got new cradle mounts. That's all nice and new. The rack and everything is nice shape, new sway bar. I got new bushings for the sway bar and new end links, like I said, all that stuff over here. So today my goal really is going to be cleaning up this transmission and cleaning up this engine. So let's get rapping to it. I think first thing on my list is going to be to tackle the stuff on this transmission. And before I do that, I'm going to degrease this thing a little bit because it is still kind of slimy from when they dropped it off. She isn't perfect, but she's better than it was, which is what this channel is all about. It's just being a little better than what it was. Crud on here I'll try to get off, and then I'll pop these seals out. We'll take a peek at what all goes on putting these seals in. All right, so first things first is these axle seals that I picked up. And you can see these things are just pretty old on this new transmission here. New, I'll say used transmission. And here's the new SKF seals. Look pretty identical. You know, I should probably just make sure it fits on that axle before I install this. And this is a 16901. And this was the only seals I could really find for the thing. There was like one other brand that didn't look promising, and these are made in Taiwan. Fingers crossed. Now, normally this isn't something I usually check because the parts sometimes are right when you get them from other sources, and you can see, yeah, it does seal nice and tight on there actually, on that lip. So that's what we're aiming for, just like so. So I feel confident putting these in on both sides. Little seal puller here, and she should pop right out. Make sure I don't gouge this thing. All right, the seal is out, as you can see. And I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, and then we'll get that new seal put in. All right, now look how shiny this thing is. Nice, nice. Now we can put the seal in. As you can see, what I like to do is just use some of this anaerobic gasket maker, just a small little bead around here, and then I wipe it down. You don't have to use this. It's kind of a thing that I always like to do. Again, you don't have to do it, but this is how I do it. And if there's any imperfections in the seal or the mating surfaces, this will help hold that fluid in, just like that, as you can see. Get it all lined up. All right, then I got this old race and a seal driver. It fits just perfectly over this thing without having to damage that dust cover. All right, same thing on this side. So now we got this stub shaft in the way. Just pop this dust cover off right away since that was the trick on the last one. Oh God, tip this thing right off. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, there you go. And it should work just fine. Ooh la, ooh la. Okay, that's nice and flush in there, and this one's nice and flush in there. And I do have this torque converter seal, which the box has been open once or twice. So let me just double check this is gonna fit on that torque converter. So same thing like the axle. Does it squeeze over that? Oh, and she does. Perfect. So I will use this seal then too. All right, so next I have a random cup here. And the seal will work. All right, so now I get to find a contraption to get over this input shaft and get this seal in here. That might be tricky. The seal out without wrecking anything is the key plan of attack. Okay, she's coming. Okay, all right, clean this up a little bit. Looks like some stuff has been sitting in there for quite some time. Now that's nice and clean. We're gonna do the same thing that we did with the axle seals, put a little anaerobic sealer on it, and try to tap that in there. All right, moment of truth here. See if I can get this baby to pop in without having to do too much here. All right, I found this big hammer. Let's try to use this. Oh, it actually freaking went right in. Look at that. Score! All right, believe it or not, that actually took more time than I was expecting just to find something to pound that stupid seal in. But overall, the seals are in. We have the torque converter seal, axle seal. Axle seal. I'm going to rip this pan off quick and just kind of inspect the valve body. And I'm going to take that old one off too. But I'll do this pan gasket now because this is actually pretty easy to get at. And then the pan on the bottom, I think what I'm actually going to do is do it in the car, and I'll put everything up because it's actually really easy to get at once it's in the car versus on the pan. I don't want to flip this thing over and throw my back out. All right, now that I got the pan off this thing, you can see the shift solenoids and all the components on the inside. What I'm really looking for is these wires. Make sure there's not anything that's like obscene, any like scorch marks or anything like that on these solenoids. And honestly, everything does look fairly good. Now, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. Obviously, you can see it's fairly clean already. I'll just probably hit it with some brake cleaner or something, just to kind of keep all that slime off of it. And then I'm gonna put the new gasket on that. This is the old transmission. And it actually looks fairly decent too, this valve body. So everything is identical as you can see, but that's all I need to do on that one right there is just put that gasket on. And I am gonna paint the pan just to make it look a little nicer. So I got this pan all nice and painted and shiny on the inside, nice and clean from the parts washer, and a reusable gasket. Now these are the ones you wanna use, not the cork. The cork ones will leak. I've just never had good luck with them. So just use these reusable ones on anything you can get your hands on. Usually you can get right from the factory, but that's what you want to use. Let me get this pan gasket situated. Everything lines up perfectly as you can see, and I will bolt this thing back up here, and I'm going to spray this off. That's right. I get these all in place like so. All right, believe it or not, I am going to torque this thing too. It looks like it's 80 inch-pounds to 122 inch-pounds, just to make me feel a little bit better getting this thing all back together, just so she don't leak. Okay, just like that, she is torqued, ready to go. This bracket bolted back on here. Mount. All right, so everything is buttoned up on the transmission side of things, except the bottom filter, which I will do in the car. Now we have to go and work on this hog right here. Now, as you can see, I did get the valve cover off already on the front side of the head here. And you can see this gasket actually doesn't look terrible like I was expecting. But you can see all this goop and all this stuff on here. That's all the engine oil that's been leaking on this thing for quite some time. And this is the valve cover gasket that's pretty brittle and hard that you can't get your hands on anymore. So I think I'm going to end up using RTV on that, the right stuff, and crossing my fingers, because I have no other option unless somebody can make me a mold and we can do some injection molding on this gasket. That would be the only way I think we could probably salvage this. However, the other big thing with this engine is the cam gears, and this one isn't welded. And I just want to cross my fingers and run it, but I just feel like that's the wrong thing to do. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So these cam gears right here on the inside actually are pressed on. And I don't know if I can zoom in to show you that or not. Let's see here. You can kind of see, yeah, that one's tough because the hex thing is in the way. But yeah, here we go. That's actually pressed on right there. So that cam gear is just pressed ever so slightly into this camshaft itself, and these are hollow. Now the front gear is like a traditional like timing chain setup where the gear is bolted on and then this chain runs down. But then yeah, these two sprockets right here and here, both the intake and exhaust, are actually pressed on, and it's just like a regular like bicycle chain that runs that. But these are the ones that always stripped out over a period of time, and they would just sit here and spin. You would bend valves. And being you can't get any parts for this engine, you pretty much just throw it away, and that's why all these things got crushed. So that's gonna be my next plan of attack, is I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna try to cover this up the best I can, and cross my fingers, I can just tack weld a couple of spots on here that will penetrate and hold this thing. I think it just needs to be a tack, to be honest. I don't think I need to weld all the way around on this thing. I'm not really worried like of a imbalance issue or anything like that with the cam gears and stuff, but that's what's gonna happen next. I'm gonna try to clean this up because oil and welding just splatters everywhere, and all I have is a MIG. It's gonna have to work. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean this up, cover this up the best I can, and put some tacks on there. So here we go. I have a flame-proof blanket here. I got this gear all cleaned up with some cleaner. I have the oil gallery plugged underneath, and I did shove some cardboard down in here. This is starting to become like a redneck ingenuity thing here. I got shop rags tucked in the front gear with this license plate, an old license plate bent around these gears. So hopefully nothing will fly around and get in there because I'm using MIG. And then I just have a magnet. Hopefully, my tacks don't really make a huge mess. And I can really isolate and minimize the amount of stuff really jumping around here, so I don't really get anything down to the in the oil pan. I should be fine with how I have this set up currently. I'll put the grounding clamp somewhere underneath the cam gear, like back here or something like that. So let's do it. Let's get this thing welded. What am I out to gamble on this thing? So again, fingers crossed. We're gonna weld it, and it's gonna go just fine. Nothing will go wrong, because that's the story of my life. All right, I'm gonna try now to hopefully roll this thing over, roll the engine over. I'm gonna just do a few more tacks on the backside, and I'm just gonna call that good enough. Make sure these welds stay put. So I'm just doing tacks, which I think so far so good. Let me get this stuff all out of the way, reposition, and hit it with a magnet before I turn it over, and try to get all this stuff blown out too. Alright, this thing's kind of teetering on me. Thing rotated. Alright. Should do the trick. Now I get to throw all the stuff back on top of it. Well, there you have it. The magnet and vacuuming and all that stuff. The welds aren't the prettiest, as you can see, but I just tacked around both of the cams, and I think they are going to hold just fine. And that was kind of sketchy, but it went smoother than I actually thought it was going. I did throw some oil on this stuff because I did have this all kind of covered and everything, so that's all been oiled down. Gotta figure this valve cover out, and then I gotta get this intake off, go this side, because I guarantee these cams aren't done either. So all this stuff has to come off still. I gotta figure out these gaskets because it is hard as a rock. Here is my plan of attack. I'm gonna use the right stuff. I got a little top on here that's really, really small. And for this gasket, I already kind of scrubbed this stuff down, but I got this in some warm water to help make this thing squishy and get all the grease and stuff off of it. So I gotta reuse these, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I've heard people talking about stuff leaking over the top of these gaskets from the inside of the valve cover, and then obviously leaking on the bottom side. So what I'm gonna do is just dab a little bit of a silicone along the entire length of the valve cover for the gasket surface and on the seals too. And then I'm also gonna put a little tiny bead on all these surfaces too. All right, now I did throw a small bead on top of this too, on all these gaskets, and man, do I hate doing this. This seems very, very wrong. Now, I did get this all cleaned up and scraped down, so this is nice and clean and ready to be put on. Put a little couple of dabs of RTV on the, where it meets the timing cover and the head, and also back on this cam cap here, which runs this pulley off the back. But I'm gonna let that cure for, I don't know, like a minute or so, just to kind of keep it strong. Throw this bad boy on there and get it bolted down right away. And then, yeah, it's gonna have plenty of time to cure, because I'm not putting this thing in probably for another day, because I gotta get this back valve cover off and take this huge intake off, which is next. I got all the wires kind of tucked out of the way. Now everything looks pretty darn good here. I am going to slap her on and cross my fingers nothing falls off. All right, here goes nothing. All right, get that started. Kind of move it a little bit, try to get that stuff to equal out. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll leave it loose for a little bit, let that RTV kind of set up, and then I'm probably gonna just tighten it down after that's kind of cured a little bit. All right, I can start tightening this stuff down here. I still have to take out the spark plugs for the thing, and then everything is done here. I can move on to taking this intake off. I did rip this hose taking it off, so I will have to get that, and this thing is as brittle as all can be, but not the end of the world there, because I could just use a regular hose. All right, well, here is the front spark plugs. They were replaced before because these are auto lights, and I would have had a Motorcraft spark plug in it. The gap on them, let me just see if I can zoom in. The gap on them does look pretty nasty. This thing was sitting for a while, so it definitely has a stink to it from the fuel. But overall, this one did actually have a little leak in the spark plug tube. That's why you see a little oil on that. But now I have new Motorcraft spark plugs. Double platinum. See what these look like. Ooh, baby. Pretty, pretty. All right, spark plugs are in. Coil's going back on. Let's see how bad this thing really is to rip into. Let's get to ripping and the tearing on this. truth. Look at that. Well, that was way easier than it looked. Holy moly. There she is, boys and girls. What a hoot. Let me get this out of the way. She's up and out of the way. What's this? A little like sticker or something. Oh, loop stickers. Next oil change. Where's this from? Oh, look at that. Bill Angst Auto Service in Winona, Minnesota. He left a sticker back here for somebody. Sticker for the next guy. Now it looks like this coil's been replaced. Possibly these two, and this one might be a factory one. Interesting, interesting. Look at that. They have this thing, coil on plug number 3. They have it labeled back here. That's pretty neat. Just like the front side, it's still kind of the same with the brackets. And then this hose right here will have to come off. This thing is full of carbon, so I might try to wipe some of that out with a cloth and some cleaner. I don't want to use too much cleaner and dry these things out because I don't know what the status is on trying to find some tubes. But overall, this was actually fairly easy to get off. I just got to get this harness all moved away and get that bad boy out of here. All right, well, I tried to spare you guys some of the boredom that comes along with making these videos. I did get the valve cover off on this side. I already got the gasket out, sitting there kind of soaking. And I did weld these cams up already, so you didn't have to see the same thing. I just did the same process that I'd done that side to this side. Now, one thing I am running into as an issue is this trio of PCV hoses that comes along with this thing. As you can see, I'll set this down right here. When you take them off, these things are so brittle and so hard that they actually split right on the end. So both of them go into the valve covers. This one goes actually into the intake boot. And that one still looks okay because it's got here, but it is still rock hard. So I'm currently trying to make one work with the hose I have here. And then the same thing with the valve cover. I'm just going to do the whole RTV trick that I did on the other side, and then spark plugs on this side as well. So in a moment, that will all be assembled, and hopefully we can make this transmission back up to this thing today. All right, so I have the engine all pretty much put back together here, and I got it clean. As you can see, nice and degreased, nice and clean. Valve covers are back on, cams are welded, all the good stuff. I did throw some new belts on it. I ordered the pulleys for these things too. All of them are wrong. So that's kind of a bummer. New spark plugs are in. I got the new water pump belt on this thing, so I was lucky enough to find those. And everything is back together on this doohickey here, nice and clean for my liking there. And I got the transmission that's going to get down on the ground soon, and then we got to do that pan up in the air. But then I had to get the subframe back in this because I removed everything. So this is my way of centering it. And now that I got the subframe put in here, I got to get the jack stands back underneath it, and then drop the car back down on it, and just hook up everything and cross our fingers. Now I can try to get this stands back in place where I'm gonna be able to get at everything again. Rags on these things because I got this thing all nicely coated. Now this is back kind of being centered where we want it. So when we put the car back down, it's not gonna be a pain to get these bolts in. All right, now I gotta get this huge engine on that subframe. Hopefully I can do this without dropping it. That was my fear taking it off. Well, there's nothing sketchy about this. Oh boy. Moment of truth. We're gonna try to get this thing on here now. I got this mount here, so I think that's gonna be the easiest way of attack. And I should have put an engine leveler on this or something because she wants to tip this way. And it's just me here. So, fingers crossed. It's got to work. All right, new plan. I'm going to try to take this bracket off for this other engine mount because this thing is so twisted right now. And this is just going to keep hitting the rack. So I'm going to try to get that front mount in. And I'll take these bolts out right there. Get this mount off, or this bracket. And then I will get that mount on the front, and then I'll try to keep it jacked up and get this thing slid in here, and I should be able to get to those bolts, but won't know until we try. Okay. There we got a ratchet strap here. Help kind of rotate this. Oh my God. This is the sketchiest thing right now. What do I get myself into? Well, that mount is in. Get that started, maybe that'll help. All right, let me figure this out quick. All right, I think I got her. Well, this is a pain. Oh, crap. Hey, there we go. Why don't you just say do that? Come on, you guys. Thanks for your support. Now is the perfect time to say be sure to like and subscribe. Finally got this bolt in there. Yippee-ki-yay. All right, I'm gonna leave those nuts just a little loose for the time being until I get this engine kind of where I want it. It's on the cradle. We made it. All right, she is on the cradle once again. Thankfully, we've made some progress. Now, the transmission part, which is gonna be the fun part, because when I removed it last time, the torque converter just fell right out because I couldn't get the right angle for this thing. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is hopefully get this thing up high enough where I can just kind of go onto it straight, because last time it just got really kitty-wampus and took a dive onto the floor. As you can see, I got this mount all tightened up, bolts in there, everything's looking good. So transmission is going on right now. All right, well, the transmission is hanging. I'm gonna try to keep it so I don't flop this torque converter on the ground. That would be a bad deal for me today. I did get this thing kind of really all cleaned up like I was showing, and hopefully this is gonna go smoother than I anticipate. See if we can make some magic happen. Ugh. Why? All right, I gotta figure out something to prop against this torque converter, because that is gonna be the issue, because I have to come in at an angle no matter what. So maybe I can jam a piece of wood in there or something that's not gonna be a pain to try to get out. This is like redneck ingenuity at its finest. Let me see what I can find. All right, don't judge me. All right, this has just got a little tension. I don't really want a ton of tension against this thing because I don't want to risk damaging anything inside here. This is going to end up plopping down. I got to go back up with it because I had to use a subframe to brace myself. Ooh, now it really wants to turn. It's going to be a little sketchier than I thought, but that's okay. Oh, now we're spitting fluid out right away. Gosh darn it. All right, it looks like my little apparatus here actually worked. Here's my current situation. I have everything bolted up on the dowels, nice and loose in here, so we didn't, crunch this thing against the flex plate, so that's good. I got this thing pretty tilted still, and I got to get this thing over here all bolted down. I did get this one on the dowel pin bolted down back here as well. You can hardly see that. But I did get all this done, so now I get to drop this onto the mount and basically just reassemble. So I have all the bell housing bolts on. I did push the torque converter forward. I have one nut holding that on, but I'm gonna wait until I get this thing up in the air to do it because I don't wanna really crawl underneath. I spilled transmission fluid out of this thing. So I'm gonna wait till I get this car down, get this bolted back up, and then I'll just do it when I'm up in the air. Still gotta get that secondary air pump on this thing, a couple of little connectors and stuff that's gonna be a pain to get to back here. So I'm gonna get this stuff situated, then I'll come back, get this thing bolted back up with the car, go up with it. I'll do everything else from the top, and we should have this thing running by the end of the day. Well, everything I needed to get done on the bottom side is now completed. I have all the harnesses done, all the stuff rerouted, all the coolant lines back on, all the brackets on. I got the secondary air pump on right here, the transmission line, starters in, bolted on. Everything is back where it's supposed to be. Now the next thing I need to do is get the car back down onto the subframe so I can get this thing bolted back up, start working on the top side, get all the rest of the coolant hoses and all the stuff on the top hooked up, start putting fluids in this thing, and then I still got to tighten up the torque converter, all that stuff on the bottom when it's up in the air, and I am going to change that transmission filter when it's up in the air as well. So I'm gonna get rid of that pogo stick here, and we're going down with it. So here's what it looks like right now. The engine is actually kind of sitting in here a little crooked. And that big bulk connector back here, you can kind of see it right there, has to go up to that right there, that computer. So that thing keeps falling back, so I gotta get that rewired up. And then all this stuff should clear. Kind of is loose here, but should clear. So that's currently what this all looks like. Currently got everything pretty dang close to being lined up here. Everything is out of the way. What I'm gonna do, I think, is these control arms, I'm gonna get these ball joints threaded on right now. And that'll help kind of pivot this thing. Because for whatever reason, when I was struggling putting the transmission on, this thing must have walked just a little bit, causing it to be a huge pain now putting this thing in. So I'm gonna get these nuts put on the ball joints, and I will get this thing moved around here a little bit better, and we should be able to bolt this thing up, and enough crying. Let's get this over with. Bolts in, bolts in. We're all golden on this side. Engine's sitting really nice and pretty in there now. Wrecking stuff. And this side's going in good. The rack and pinion, that all lined it up down there pretty dang good. And everything is looking like it's supposed to be finally. So I'm gonna try to get this cradle centered a little bit better than I currently have it. Because I do have some like millimeter adjustments I'd like to try to get as close as possible. So I'm gonna get those tightened up. We'll get these hoses and everything back on the top side. And then I gotta track down some fluid because I don't have any more transmission fluid. Pretty much everything is done hose-wise on top. All the coolant hoses, all the AC lines, the fuel lines, all that stuff's hooked up. I did leave the 2 heater hose lines off for now. I just wanna make sure I had the transmission shift cable line in the right spot. And all that stuff looks good. All the connectors and everything is back in place. I got that power steering line on. All that stuff's looking really good on top here. I am gonna lift it up, put the axles back in. I'm probably not gonna put the wheel wells and all the air dam and stuff like that on quite yet because I still want to spray this off and clean it. So I just want to get that stuff kind of in the way, come back to the top, get the airbox in, get the battery in, get the exhaust on, all that little stuff, and we should be smooth sailing. So up in the air we go. And one of the things I have to still do is tighten up these motor mounts, both sides here. But I see that I just wanted to shift this just a little bit that way. And everything else is looking fairly goot under here. Now this transmission cable, you can kind of see it tucked up in there. That's really what I was looking to make sure I have in the right routing. And I think I'm okay. Because it looks like it just rested on that stuff before. But I'm not 100% sure. I just gotta fidazzle with that a little bit, just make sure I got that right. Tighten up these mounts. Axles are hiding right here, and those gotta go in. And a couple little suspension things, but that's really what's left up underneath here. So it shouldn't take too much longer. And throw this exhaust on too since I'm down here. And we should have this thing running pretty shortly here. All right, now, so everything is buttoned up underneath here. We have the axles, the ball joints, the tie rods, the sway bars, all the suspension stuff. These little active ride level sensors, these are nice and tight. All the stuff is plugged in. I still have these oxygen sensors I gotta get plugged in, and I still have to put a filter and a pan gasket on this. This is all taking a little bit longer than expected, but that's okay. Ugh, this cork gasket's just falling apart, and it's all in the pan. This thing must be ancient too. I mean, who knows how old it is. Look, it's just brittle as all it can be. God, I hate cork gaskets. Put a dab of some clean ATF on here. Help it go in. Oh, there. She is in. All right, now that that's done, get the oil change on this thing too while I'm at it, because I've never changed it, and for sure it's due for it. Oh yeah, she is dirty. She is dirty. And I got a ton of fluid now. I got coolant, I got ATF, and more goodies. That's pretty gross looking. She's dark. I don't like to see that, but the engine was fairly clean on the top side, so I don't know. Let's see what happens. All right, well, that's out of the way. I can get this thing back towards the ground, fill up all the fluids on it, and I'm just gonna kind of give it everything a double check. I'm gonna leave the wheel wells and stuff off for now because I want to spray all this off and clean it and let it run, make sure everything's gonna be A-okay. And yeah, fingers crossed. I hope everything's working out good on this thing. I would say give or take 8 quarts into this thing. I think the capacity is like 12 or 13. But we'll start there. There's not a discrepancy and we overfill the thing. So I still got to put the battery in it. I got to get coolant in this thing. I got to get power steering fluid in the thing. And there's still a connector back there that I saw that I need to figure out where it goes because I don't remember. And then we should be ready to fire this bad girl up again. See what happens. So. All right, so the moment of truth is here. I do have the battery charger on this thing currently because the battery was dead. But all the fluids are in there. Everything's going to need to be topped up, of course. But let's just see if this thing will fire and go through the gears quick. All right, moment of truth here. Got to get the fuel there. Hey, she's running. There's a reverse, neutral, drive, first, second. I felt it go into every gear. Okay, we're in park. Let's go take a look at this quick. All right, she's running. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check all these fluids really quick since this thing is running. Kind of just to give myself an idea of where I'm at with the fluids. And then I will back it out. I'm going to spray it all off and everything because it's pretty dirty. So let's see what happens. Want to make sure I got good fluid levels on everything because kind of whimsically ran with it. Looks like I need about a half quart of engine oil here. Okay, fire this thing up once more. That exhaust leak is gonna piss me off. You can't find parts for this thing. So I'll have to figure out exhaust on it. All right, I'm gonna back this thing out and we will check the fluid level out of the concrete here. Well, it goes in reverse, so that is a plus. We are out the building. Woo-hoo-hoo. Go check this thing right now. See what it looks like. Now I can check the fluid level. Ugh, that degreaser stink is on it. Yeah, still no fluid. Dang, I got 10 quarts in here, so it was pretty much dry. Let me go get more fluid. All right, I'm gonna let this thing run for a little bit, get the smoke to burn off of it. It looks like I got a small leak from this power steering hose, so I gotta figure that out. But I'm gonna let it run and probably rinse it off and everything, and then I'll come back and see what we got going on. Had the fluids all topped up, so we're all looking good now. I'm gonna put my plate on, and I'm gonna go take it for a quick rip, just to make sure this transmission is supposed to do what it's doing. Fire this thing up. Idling good. She's a hot one today. All right, I am at a complete stop here, and let's see what it does. Oh my gosh. Didn't slip in first. It didn't slip. It's working. There's third. Nice. And overdrive. Dude, it's freaking working. Heck yeah, dude. Awesome. Oh, dude, this is a score. This is an awesome. Yes! Score, score, score. Be a little gentle. We still got some stuff to do, and there's some pieces off this thing. But, dude, it's not slipping in first at all. That was all the way up to $6 grand. Smooth shifting. Oh yeah, baby. We got a Ford Taurus show. We got a freaking show, man. Woo! We are back, And the SHO freaking runs and drives. Dude, that makes me so freaking happy. Ah! Okay. Well, there's still some stuff I have to do. Like I said, I got to put this stuff back on here. I kind of left it off for now because I just wanted to get out and just make sure this transmission worked, because if I had to go back and take it back out, I didn't know what I was kind of gambling on here. But so far, so good. I got to let this thing burn off a lot of that degreaser that I have on it, so I still have to do that. There's some end links. I really need to do brakes on it because it shakes a little bit, and I got to find some tires. So I'm going to stop the video there. It's a long one. There's a lot of stuff. So if you made it to the end, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching the SHO project, and I'm going to keep this baby alive. So thank you again. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the good stuff. We will catch you in the next video. Peace.